Vaush was only sort of
mean.
The Y train. I don't even think I was that
mean.
With the hypothetical, with the Y, with the Socratic thing. Was that even bad? I don't even think that was
mean.
I waited for him to give his explanation, and then I asked why. Like, can't people answer these? He didn't get why you were doing it? I told him why I was doing it, but no, I'm sure he didn't get it. Vaush, you expected him to create an entire system on the spot when he didn't even know what an ethical system was? Dude, unironically, if you don't have an ethical system, you should shut the fuck up about politics forever. Holy shit. But yeah, I wanted him to admit that not having an ethical system was hurting him. Like, and he was floundering, dude. I want to react back to it because I was just asking questions. I wasn't really processing what he said because, of course, the Socratic method isn't about my understanding of the issue here. We're testing his. I was just kind of having fun with, like, the next question to ask. But if I, yeah, we're going to react to my own stream VOD. Let's go. Yeah, we're going to react to my own stream VOD. Let's go. Yeah, I really did clean up with my beard trim.
That's basically the way that they put it.
Why did they think that was worth doing?
Because throughout modern history, or throughout history since class antagonisms arose, let's put it that way, human beings have been driven forward by oppressive relations with the means of production. And that limits humans, and it causes a lot of suffering.
I don't understand these terms. You already said suffering can be good or bad. Limiting? What makes these things bad? I don't understand.
Okay, limiting oppression, giving people the ability to develop their own material conditions and to have the freedom to do what they want. That's what they talked about in.
Why should people have freedom? Should people have freedom to murder?
Vaush, freedom to live.
Look at this. It would be nice to have an ethical system you could apply to answer these questions, right?
No, okay. A person has the right. This is okay. Let's go back to the material conditions, all right? If you're being oppressed, right? If you're being oppressed and somebody is forcing you to work for them as a slave or a wage earner or whatever, that is a form of exploitation, okay?
Isn't that their freedom?
What is bad? Excuse me?
Isn't that their freedom? You're talking about restricting the freedom of people to do unto others what they will.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You're saying that you don't like it when people exercise their freedom to oppress others. You said you value freedom.
Vaush.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, the fact of the matter is that Marx and Engels.
This is so, these are the people who fucking try to give me shit on philosophy and theory. Oh my God.
Believed that exploitation through class antagonism is not good.
He doesn't have an ethical system. He only has dogmatism. This is the thing. He's not saying anything. He's just defaulting back to his rote understanding of basic Marxist terminology. But he doesn't actually know how to apply it. This is just like it's like giving a toddler a bunch of like letter blocks and the words they assemble at random, like trying to interpret meaning from them. What you're arguing for is intuitive morality, which is exactly what leads to every goddamn pogrom and mass slaughter that's ever happened throughout history. When people post hoc justify what's right or wrong, only the construction of and adherence to moral systems that you can understand can prevent that kind of stuff from happening. And it's why I'm hammering on it right now. I don't like it when I was so clear about this. I know people are going to be like, he didn't realize you were pressing him to test his own knowledge. You know, he didn't know what you were doing. I was very, very explicit with what I was doing here. You're laughing like, oh, hypotheticals. Oh,
material conditions will dictate what's acceptable or not.
What does that mean?
And the only way to rising up against the Nazis was acceptable. Yes.
No. After World War I, the Nazis claimed that Jewish bankers were holding the country down through.
And that was false consciousness because that wasn't actually happening.
How can you tell?
That was false consciousness. They constructed a moral.
So I like this too, okay? He can't even, like, his problem with the Holocaust was that the Nazis weren't class conscious. Like, see, this is what I mean. He doesn't have an ethical system. He just has dogma. His position here is that the problem with what the Nazis did was that they were wrong about whether or not they had the class consciousness. So what if they were Nazbols? Right? What if they were Strasserites, you know? Like, they're you know, like, what if you integrated, like, there are so many bad outcomes that you could get. You could justify almost anything with this framework, you know? The problem with the Nazis was when they were doing the oppression math, they got the math wrong. That was the only issue. What was the problem with the Nazis? Well, when they were figuring out the whole Jewish question thing, they forgot to, they dropped a 0. They dropped the decimal point one over, and they didn't carry the 1, you know? Oh my God.
Utilitarian rule that did not align with reality.
They were not utilitarian. Wait, the Nazis were not utilitarian. Careful with that. They were very, very not utilitarian.
The point is that they were their ideology was not aligned with reality.
How can you tell?
Because Jews...
Remember what I said before about how Luna was making the mistake of associating dialectical materialism with the concept of empiricism? He's doing it here too. He thinks dialectical materialism is everything. A political system, an ethical system, an economic system. Yeah. He thinks it's everything, like the whole world, you know? And in this case, like empiricism too. Like it's a metaphysical theory here as well, I guess. Yeah, it's a faith. Like, yeah, let's be clear here. It's a faith, basically. That's what it's being used as. It's dogmatic. And like right here, his argument, he's literally saying, like, if, like, imagine, like, you're watching this with no context, and somebody is like, why was the Holocaust bad, you know? And the other person is like, oh, because the Nazis weren't class conscious. They were acting off false consciousness, you know? They were wrong when they said that the Jews controlled the white countries. Like, okay, all right. Anything else? Like, that's what you jump to?
Jews don't actually control banks in the world.
There was a disproportionate number of Jewish control of banks in Germany during the Weimar Republic.
All right, Vaush, we're done here. Thank you.
Hey.
Goodbye. This is,
he can't answer it.
That's all I need to hear.
You don't have an ethical... Oh, my God. He can't answer it. Because that's the thing right there. And this is the thing that makes me sussy-wussy, man. If he doesn't have an answer to that, and he doesn't seem to, he can't ever argue against a Nazi. Because if his position is that, you know, the Nazis would be justified if there was disproportionate Jewish control of this industry or another, there is. It's just a product of historical circumstance. It doesn't mean the Jewish question is true, but it is. So he would have to concede that argument, which is insane. Vaush, I think EJ is correct here. False consciousness caused them to attack the wrong targets. So would you have been in favor of them killing 10 million of the wealthiest people in Germany? No, the issue here wasn't just a lack of class consciousness, because the Strasserite wing of the Nazi party had class consciousness, and while they did eventually all get long-knived in the back, they were clearly still bad. The issue was that the ethical system of Nazis... it completely discluded the just any consideration for the well-being of groups outside of, you know, their racial, ethnic hierarchy. Yeah, the fundamental issue here, this is not a like class consciousness issue. You can be class conscious and be racist. Those aren't mutually exclusive things at all.